battle.
Hey everybody, to the Turin Giants here. Welcome for a new episode of the Double Take, or in this case, the semi-automatic double take. Ha, you catch my drift there?
Oh,
Dad joke for the win, guys. Anyways, I'm Dash, joined here with my partner Dave. We're going to talk here about some semi-automatic offsides, kind of give our thoughts about it, just because it is sweeping the league by storm. So Dave's going to actually give you guys an introduction on what the hell is a semi-automatic offsides.
yeah. So simply put, it's just using technology, sensors, cameras to basically digitize a person onto a field, and the points they make the imaginary line. I'm sure you've seen it. We'll put up the graphs, of course. They'll flash up for you, and I will link in the description below. FIFA actually has a couple videos explaining it as well. Goes over it really well. But essentially, they put a sensor in the ball, and they have cameras up in the stadium, up in the rafters, and they just take data points. And as soon there's an inertial data in the ball, so as soon as that ball is kicked, that point of impact, it's registered. And at that point, they can freeze frame the technology, and then taking the data points that they have, see where they are in reference to the offside line. So it's obviously a little bit more complicated than that. I won't bore you with all the fine details. You can check that out yourself if you want to learn more. And that's the gist of it. So Dash, how do you feel about this?
So the thing is, let's talk about this because it's an interesting topic. So it's kind of similar to how VAR was introduced with the handball rules back in what was it, 2019, 2020. The thing is, it's there's good things to it where now everything is consistent, but now we kind of open up Pandora's box of what is constituted as offsides. What is technically being offsides? Because if we look at the FIFA rule book, offsides is if there is a certain position or a body part of the player that is ahead of the last defender that gives him a clear-cut advantage on goal, it is ruled as offsides. But if we look at, for example, some of the graphs, and you'll see the graphs up right now from the Juventus-Fiorentina game with Dusan, and then I'll also include the Lautaro one as well. So, for example, with the Dusan-Fiorentina goal, his eyebrow and his shoulder was offsides, and that's what essentially ruled off our second goal against Fiorentina. And ironically,
this one, sorry, just to interject quickly, and it's in the thumbnail, you can see I actually cut it out and blew it up. There was nothing, but sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to really spot out. And then ironically, the Fiorentina offsides goal that Fiorentina got, and that actually saved our bacon, was again a heel. The dude's heel was a millimeter ahead of, I believe it was Bremer or Locatelli. And that's what essentially nullified that entire, even though technically it was a foul on Locatelli by that same exact player, but, semantics, don't want to get into the fava and all that kind of stuff. But it's good because now we have that consistency where it's for me, my issue was, especially during Alvaro Morata's initial return back to Juve, where you looked at some of these and you're like, what the hell? This is considered offsides? What the...
I had a streak of 7 or 8, something like that.
Yep. So it was, I think, 7. So he had 7 goals where the offsides wasn't consistent at all. Oh yeah, his toe. Oh yeah, this. And this was without the semi-automatic offsides. This was just referees eyeballing it with the stupid red line that screwed us against Salernitana. We remember that. Don't forget that. So the thing is now, okay, if it's an offsides call, I understand it because now I know it's consistent. It's not going to be, whatever flavor of the month the referee is feeling. Because back then, that's kind of how it was. It was dependent on VAR and it was dependent on the referee. Same thing with the handball rule with VAR when it was all introduced. And, everyone started having that discussion. What is a handball at this point? Or now I think they've kind of narrowed it down pretty fairly well as far as what handballs are and what constitutes as one. Right now, we're going to open up this Pandora's box of what's an offsides, because of these images that we showed you guys, because the issue with them is just the consistency of it. For example, now a lot of rule people, as far as also team owners and a bunch of, higher ups, are going to start sitting there and being like, I think we need to change the offsides rule, which I think in the near future, I think the offsides rule is going to get changed. I think it's going to be, go ahead, Dave.
It was discussed. Yeah. It's been discussed continuously for the past few years, really. So it's just a matter of time. Will the dams break this time now that we have the semi-auto?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the main thing that breaks it per se, just because you're looking at some of these and it's like, I'm not mad, but I'm also annoyed at the same time. So, what's your thoughts on it?
So there's obviously some very good things. It's accurate, it's quick, and obviously that's actually the biggest frustration for me. Just
As I say, that's
the
what she
quick.
said.
Oh
It's
man,
accurate and quick, guys.
that's all you need. So yeah, just to go on the quickness, when we have these controversial calls, minutes we spend not knowing what's going on with the referee, with this head in the camera in the box there, right? It's a mess. It's too long. And especially when it's an offside, when it should be technically by the rules, something that is black and white. And now there's technology that with, of course, it's not perfect, but with 99% accuracy, let's say, will determine like to the pixel. Because again, like I said, I blew it up to the pixel. I saw the individual pixels there. There's nothing. Obviously, they had a higher resolution picture than what I had because there was a pixel missing, something like that. But bam, they have it. It's done. Let's move on. Let's not waste time. So that's great. And obviously, the accuracy involved, it's to the pixel. You can't get better than that. The problem is a good thing and bad thing. There's no emotion in the call. So
sounds like a sexless marriage. No emotion in the call. You just lay
right
there and you just take it.
Back to this again. Jeez. Oh man. So as we know, our emotions will affect how we make a call. I don't know if anybody out there has refed or had to make decisions, and that emotion and bias, of course, as well, right? So that's taken out. Now the problem is the emotion in the stadium. That's taken out. There's no. It's become digital and not analog. I don't know if you guys know the old like you got to play a record, right? That the pops and the cracks and the sound. You got to have that analog sound,
Yeah.
It's kind of like that where it's more nostalgic. You kind of just like the feeling of it. But the digital actually it's better. It is. So yeah, that's kind of my idea on it. And I know you guys are going to weigh in. We're going to actually on a live hit this one again because I was talking to Hamza KF Squad there. You guys might recognize him from in the comments and the lives. He was at that game and he's got a bit to say about it as well from that fan perspective. As we know, Kevin was at the game as well. So we're going to hear a bit more from these guys as well. The actual emotional roller coaster, if you will, right in the stadium.
Yeah.
As maybe you've witnessed a bit watching on TV.
Yeah, and it's a funny thing too, to quote Kevin too. Kevin for the Rabiot goal, for the goal line technology, which is not even like the thing that we're talking about. It's something that was implemented a while ago.
Yeah.
Kevin was like, and we have the video too, guys. If you look at our shorts, you can actually see it for yourself. Everyone was like, and then, when the referee points to the, so it's literally, it's kind of like that. You can't expect it, and it's gonna happen. And to be honest with you guys, the NFL has already done everything that soccer, football is trying to do. I think we're headed towards that direction. I think it's actually some parts of it is beneficial to the game, just because my issue will always be referees don't get held accountable. This is my final argument, is now having the semi-automatic offsides, you prevent things like Salernitana from happening, because that was an atrocity. The fact that they missed Kondreva like that.
A whole man was missed out of a
whole man was missed. And we can put our tinfoil hats on and conspiracy this, conspiracy that. I don't see that being conducive to this conversation, but for me, and it's the same kind of thing I say with the NFL as well. It gives a level of accountability to the officials, because let's be honest here. 2 eyes can't see as much as a camera can see. A high definition Serie A, upgrade your cameras because you're still at 720 pixels, you suckers. But looking at it from high definition, looking at it and replaying, and everyone's gonna call in me and say, you're an American, that's why you like this, and blah 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 blah.
Sure, but I mean,
I want to win. I don't want to lose on BS. I'm sorry. Like,
Oh no, and that's a good point.
yeah, like I the fact that, like, for example, we lost. I was about to say I played, but we lost 2 points against Salernitana because of some stupid incompetence. That, like, how does that not bother you?
It was bad. We're all still bothered. We're still
Yeah,
talking about it.
I'm still
Clearly.
triggered. I
And
need cream.
yeah, triggered dash hashtag triggered. But I mean, that being said, yes, we are North American, Canadian American here. We see it in all the sports we watch over here. It's been around for a while, and it was a little messy when it first came out. We kind of forget that now because it's been so many years, and they've really refined it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think we're idiots, if we're going the wrong direction with this, or like those darn Yanks over there, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, let's know.
And I'll say this as like kind of like a closing thought. Guys, if you want to see semi-automatic actually implemented properly, watch the NHL. And I think football is going to switch to kind of how the NHL monitors or how the NHL dictates offsides, because for them it's just a blue line. For them,
as long as a part of the body is still onside, you're good. And that's maybe Beppe actually mentioned that the other night, that perhaps that's what we're looking at in European
in the
football.
future. So, alrighty, guys, that's going to wrap this up. So again, make sure you guys do comments on here because we will read them in the live. I know because of the Super League rescheduling, we will be doing the Super League live where we talk about it and review that Sky Sports video. So that is coming.
I'm way less angry about it now. I wish I was there. I was more angry.
Dave, just watch the video.
Gotta get jacked up again.
But we will, again, when we do a recap on our live stream, we are going to talk about the comments. So people that leave the comments, make sure you guys watch the following live stream because we will talk about it. Again, it's just kind of one of those things where we like to interact with you guys, and it's good content. Good content. No?
Yeah. Come on, enjoy.
But on that note, guys, we're about to sign off. We'll catch you when we do our next pregame for Knots. I'm Dash. I'm out of here with my buddy Dave. Dave, take it out.
Peace, guys. Thanks for joining in. We love you all. Until next time, Forza Juve.